Hi, some of my friends and family wanted me to share how I cope with some of the health issues that I have. And I just want to let you know, I thank God that I don't have any serious sickness or health issue. But like everybody else, I do have some of the discomfort that comes with age. And I was able to cope with most of my discomfort. Not a complete treatment, but able to enjoy my life as it was before. And today I want to talk about the GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease. It's a very common disease, but seems a lot of people have wrong concept and wrong treatment for it. And I want to share with you how I cope with it. First of all, I want to let you know, even though I am a plastic surgeon and licensed medical doctor, I'm not trained or qualified to treat GERD, but I just want to share what worked for me. It seems like there are different types of GERD, and I want to share my history with you so that you could kind of see if it matches your symptoms, and hopefully this will help you as well. Well, I'm 56 now. When I was in about 42 or 43, at the prime of my career, uh, I used to drink wine like every Friday or Saturday night because I don't have surgery next day. And as a family and with me and my wife and friends, we used to enjoy quite a good amount of wine on that day. And I had no problem before, but just about age 20, I mean 42, 43, I'll wake up in the middle of the night sweating and I feel like I'm dying. I feel like I'm having a panic attack. I feel like I'm having a heart attack. And I still can't explain what it felt like, but it felt like something like I was really dying. And I'll wake up in cold sweat and I'll walk out to my living room and sit on the sofa and open the windows, try to cool myself down. And then I could feel that I was feeling better. And then I would fall asleep on my recliner, not going back to the bed. Because as soon as I lay down again, I have that really awful feelings again. And I had no idea what it was. And I had every I had everything checked out, and they gave me a clean bill of health, telling me I have no problem. So I just couldn't figure out what the problem was, and then it got worse and worse to the point where even having a sip of wine or a little bit of beer, I would have the same issue, and then I couldn't drink coffee anymore. I was not able to drink any alcohol, and I was feeling so bad. I decided to quit coffee and alcohol for 10 years. I mean, completely went cold turkey. And for 10 years, I didn't have any problem. I was feeling fine. I was super happy. But then when the kids went off to college and when they would come home to visit us, I noticed that after having a meal, they all go up to their bedroom and do their thing. And it just kind of felt like it was lonely. So I told my wife, if we have really good craft beers or real good wines ready for them, maybe we could sit and talk and spend more time. And it really worked. So when they come on, we would have the beers and everything ready. After the meal, we would have some drinks and talk, and we would sit and talk till like 11 p.m. And it really worked out well for us. Now, only problem was going cold turkey for 10 years, I was really happy. But then after I start drinking again, if I have more than a one glass of wine, I have the old feeling coming back. And that was like awful, awful. And then the bill was even worse. So I couldn't figure out what the problem was. So and even with coffee, I started drinking coffee again because I missed it so much. I would actually dilute my coffee to about half of what my wife is drinking and only drink half of that. Because if I have any more than that, I would have this suffocating, awful feeling coming back to me again. So I was drinking very little coffee, very little alcohol, just to spend some time with family and enjoy what I used to enjoy. And then what happened was my wife started having a GERD issue. So I started doing a little research on how to treat it or how to keep it under control. And I came across something that was very, very interesting. Now, as a medical doctor, when we talk about GERD, we think about stomach acid coming back into your esophagus. And it would actually cause burning sensation and pain, and sometimes you could even have the food coming back up to your into your mouth, which is awful. It happened to me. But anyway, so as I was doing research, I came across something very interesting. We're just thinking, if you have reflux and if you have acid coming back up, first thing we think is to take antacid. Now, for some people, that really works, but for other people, it doesn't. Because what I found out was as we age, we have bacteria, because we produce less acid in our stomach, we have more bad bacteria growing in our stomach. So what happens is that when they grow, they actually produce gas. So that gas also creates pressure in your stomach, causing the reflux to your lower esophagus. So what they were saying was that instead of taking antacid for people who doesn't have enough acid in their stomach, and if you take antacid, it might actually reduce the symptom, but then it gets worse because you're losing more acid. So what they're saying is that if you take a glass of water with a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, mix it and drink it, you would make your stomach more acidic, and thus kills more bacteria and help you digest food. So I thought I'd give it a shot because it seems like some of the symptoms that they had there sounded a lot like mine. Some people are even going to the emergency room thinking they're having a heart attack or panic attack and realized there was nothing wrong with them. So I took it, and then probably on the third day or so, I really feel like I didn't feel like I was bloated. I feel much better, comfortable. So every morning, even now, every morning I would take, before breakfast or coffee or anything, I would have that water mixed with apple cider vinegar, and then I would have my coffee and breakfast. And now I am completely, well, I don't want to say completely, but I am a lot better, where I'm enjoying actually 2 cups of coffee a day and eat whatever I want. Now, but there are some of the stuff that I did adjust myself so that I could do better. Now, the key word is moderation. I still enjoy everything that I love, but in moderation, especially when it comes to coffee, alcohol, fried food, greasy food, or even dairy. I really used to enjoy white rice and white bread, but that was doing really bad for my GERD because that is actually food source for the bacteria in my stomach. So it produces more gas and causing more problems. So nowadays I have whole grain with brown rice, which really helped a lot. And even with bread, my wife is baking whole grain bread and sourdough bread, which is really good for me. Next, you want to strengthen that sphincter in your lower esophagus. And the way you could do that is by exercising. I walk 3 miles a day, every day, and I weight train every other day. Now, when you weight train, you don't want to hold your breath and put a lot of pressure, but you actually breathe as you do your exercising. Also, when I sleep, I like to sleep on my left side or sleep on my back to lower the pressure on my esophagus. Now, if I sleep on my right, which creates the stomach to be on an upper position from my esophagus, they will cause more pressure to the lower sphincter. When I wear belt nowadays, I wear it very loosely. I used to tighten it up because they will protect my back, but nowadays I wear it loosely because I don't want any pressure in my stomach. I used to eat really fast, and my wife used to tell me I eat like a lion. But I realized eating fast was doing really bad for my GERD, because if you have less chewed food in your stomach, that means it has to stay in your stomach longer, and because you're eating faster, it doesn't have enough time to leave your stomach, so your pressure is building in your stomach, and you're using more acid. So nowadays I eat a lot slower and I chew a lot more, and that really helped me a lot. And what's funny is that taking the vinegar water and eating really slow really reduced a lot of gas in me. And not only that, it gave me a comfort, but I am burping a lot less and I am farting a lot less, probably 1/10, and my family really appreciate that. After the morning vinegar water, I would take the vinegar water in between certain meals. If I'm having afternoon coffee, I would have a small cup of vinegar water after the coffee, and that really helps a lot. And if I know I'm gonna be drinking a little bit more than casual, like having friends come over, and I know if I'm gonna have more than 2 glasses of wine, then I would actually have a glass of vinegar water right before the dinner or before the drinking wine, and it really helps a lot again. And also, if I'm having like really heavy meal or fried food, and I really feel like something is sitting right here, I would just have another glass of vinegar water, and that really helps as well. If antacid is not working for you, you might want to consider apple cider vinegar water. This really helped me a lot, and now I am able to enjoy my life again.